Ayo, what's brown and sticky? A stick. Welcome to Q&A. That was pretty cool, right? Right? I should start off every Q&A live with a dad joke. Hold on, let me add tag. Thank you. Wait, y'all sending me requests already? How y'all doing? This is all right. This is Q&A. It used to be Q&A Wednesday, right? But we're gonna start doing it. I think Thursday nights because who's the guy behind me. We're gonna start doing it Thursday nights because different schedules now. I couldn't do it last couple Wednesdays. I had COVID. It was real bad. So like my content slowed down and everything, but it was a lot easier this time than last time. The first time I had it last year, I thought I was dying. But where do babies come from? The stomach. Duh. No, I don't have COVID anymore though. I had it like last week. Well, the week before last. I'm trying to add. I don't. I had Micah. I don't always want to feature him all the time, especially during school years. I mean, during school time, because all his friends see him on the internet, and I want him to prioritize learning first. You know. Live, we're gonna You need photos done. Check your inboxes from Nicole. Hope all is well. Hey Nicole, I'll check my inbox. If you got my number, just text me or call me. Um, so today we're gonna talk about I know it's not usually my content, but we're gonna talk about the housing market with my friend. And if you have any social media questions, feel free to ask me because a lot of you guys ask me in my DMs. I can't answer you all, but this is a good way to answer right now. Oh, there he is. Presets of my editing. I don't really have presets. I go like picture by picture. It takes a long time, but you know, um, I just copy and paste the presets as I go. I should make some though, just to share with you guys. Off topic, the new Lightroom is really easy to use. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to add tech, but he's not coming in here.
What's going on, brother?
What up?
What's going on? How you making out?
I'm good. I'm good.
Nice.
I stopped at my sister-in-law's house now,
Nice.
because I had my wife and my son with me.
Okay. No worries, dude. No worries. Oh, that was a nice one. That was a nice one.
What? My joke?
No, no, I was gonna say your fart.
The fart? I farted?
It sounded like a fart.
Nah. I mean, I can if you want me to.
I,
Just give me a
I, I
second.
mean, hey, you don't have to do it on my behalf, but at the same time, I mean, it's only natural too. Oh, so this was just a max. I'm just playing with the new light I got, so
Yeah, it looks good.
looks good. Oh, the thing is, I'm supposed to have two lights, and one of them just died out. Didn't even realize it.
Yo, before you I see a real estate question in here. Let me answer this one question somebody just posted in here.
Sure.
feel your time spent making videos takes away from your family time? Um,
Give me one second, I'll be right back. You didn't answer that though. I assume that's you.
all right. So, does it take away from my family time? Yes and no. I would say um, this is pretty good advice for even if you're making content, is to document more so than you're creating. Okay, so a lot of, if you look at my TikTok, my top three videos, right? My top three videos, I had one with like 16 million views, and one with 15 million views, and one with 12 million views. None of them were planned. They were just me out with my son, and I just picked up my phone and started recording. Or when I was in the hospital, I picked up my phone and started recording when my wife walked in. I was documenting my life, right? So I think we get caught up in trying to create things. You can create things, but just tell people, I mean, just show like what you usually go through, and you save a lot of time that way. That's why I'm starting to get back into photography. I have to document my experiences with photography. I can't just sit there in my living room trying to create videos for you guys all the time. So you save a lot of time just documenting what you do. I hope that helps. But sometimes it takes away, but not really. I have a very good life where, I'm self-employed, so most of my time is sitting at my house doing work. I don't have to punch a clock anymore, so I don't spend too much time away from home. Um, but the views that you get, the shares from you guys, really keep all my bills paid. So I have nothing to complain about in life. It's beautiful right now. I spend most of the day with my son. Really, I just took him to tutoring, and even right here, this is pretty much considered work. He's right in the next room, so it's great. I can't say it takes away from my family time. It takes away from my attention from to my family, but can't have it all. All right, let me get to the next question. Uh, oh, this one's for you, Tech.
Sure. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be touching on that. It's a overall pretty crazy conversation.
Hold on, before you go,
Yeah.
guys, um, feel free to ask questions in here. That's what's going to keep the live going.
Yeah.
So when you ask the questions, we'll try to get to as many as we can while we have time. I know you gotta go play in your league or something, right, Tech?
Yeah, I already told them I'm going to be late, so it's all good. The biggest part, so I'm going to tell you guys in advance, and you can look historically, speaking with, how we do these lives. Never once have I said something like this, which I'm going to say it right now. The value I'm going to provide you guys right now is going to be insane. So this is more of like a public service announcement, and it's more of a free education. So this free education, normally you can pay like thousands of dollars, and you would still not get this in depth of a view and outlook, and a little plan on what you can do afterwards to make sure that you guys are financially sound, you guys are protected. Not only are you guys protected, that you guys are going to be able to thrive in what's about to happen. All right. So that's kind of gives you an idea of how important this is going to be. So if you guys know of anyone, hey, that's having some financial issues, thinking about investing in real estate or anything like that, invite them on right now, because it's going to be very crazy. It's going to be a lot of very in-depth information. We are going to post the link to the full video afterwards, so you can go through it, because a lot of the numbers might uh, go through over somebody's head in the very beginning. Love it. And we'll probably be doing a lot of clips on this, because it's going to be crazy. Dude, I can't with you, man. I can't with you.
This is my face when I'm confused because I'm about to be confused with whatever you're about to say. Because
I
I'm not
don't
very
think you'll
good at real
be.
estate.
Huh?
I don't really understand real estate too much, so I hope I have questions that everybody else would have.
Yeah. So let's, dude. I can't remember what's the name of the character, but Ice Age, man. Every time I look at you now, that automatically pops into my head. That's freaking awesome. All right. All right. You know what? So I'm just going to jump right into it. So we'll start off with inflation. So inflation around the globe is crazy. There's some positives and negatives with U.S. Right. The thing is, like, everybody's going to hell right now with the costs and everything. The good thing with the U.S. is that we are still the main currency that everybody is trading upon. So that gives us a lot of leeway. But at the same time, when it gets into the whole larger picture of things, it's scientifically and numerically, it's not going to work out, because if you constantly print money, it's just going to end up killing it, right? So a couple of different things. One thing is that we printed out 40% of U.S. history's money back in 2020 to combat the pandemic with the financial situation, which was a horrible situation overall, but it just makes the situation worse. So literally 40% of all of the U.S. history we printed in 1 year for that amount of money. So logically speaking, that should be at least a 40% decrease in our purchase value, which means it should be a 40% increase in inflation. Now, a lot of people say, okay, that's crazy. Inflation rate is normally only 2 to 3%. The official number today is 7.7%. So more than triple, all right? So double to triple what normal inflation rate is. I think for most of us that actually go grocery shopping and go to restaurants realize it's not a freaking 7.7% increase in what we have to purchase. Like, buy a freaking loaf of bread now is insane. You buy a carton of eggs, carton of milk. It's ridiculous. What used to be you'd be able to like get for like, a decent meal out of, well, I can't say decent, out of McDonald's for like $5 or $6. It's insane. Now, that's a big part of it. All right. So now, how does that relate to? Actually, there's one other piece. So we're also going to pay off people's student loan, and this is not a political piece. And I understand how it can potentially help people out, but when the U.S. does not even have enough money to pay their own bills and debt, but you end up trying to buy people's vote by paying people's off student loans, it doesn't work. It's just exacerbating the situation, and it's going to make it a lot worse, right? Think of it this way. If you already have high inflation rate, your money isn't worth it, and then at the same time, it's like, oh, let me print off more money, or let me forgive more debt, the money is going to magically somehow appear. And that's not necessarily the case. So with all that being said, how does everything's going to affect real estate? Why do I say what I say? And what were some of my past predictions? So over a year ago, I said that by end of 2022, interest rate is going to go up to at least 8 to 10%. A lot of people said, you're batshit crazy. That's absolutely insane. That's never going to happen. We're at 7.3% right now. And we're still having a hike in December. So chances are it's going to be at least 8.8 and a quarter. Can't guarantee it. These are all speculation. Oh, by the way, disclosures, everything I'm saying right now is speculation. Do your own due diligence and don't sue me, okay? But those are the... Yes. Dude, what was it? The sloth? Was it a sloth that I'm thinking of from Ice Age?
Huh?
Was it a sloth in Ice Age? The one that's
It's my sister-in-law.
Nice.
I'm at her house on her
Okay. All right. So with all that being said, sorry, I lost track. What was I saying? Somewhere along. All right. So I'll probably just start
somewhere along the line.
Somewhere along the line.
I threw you completely off.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm used to it by now. So I'll just go back to the piece where it doesn't work if you're just trying to print more money, right? So it's not going to work out. You don't have enough money, you try and print off more money, and then you try to raise interest rate. So then, so what I said before was, 8 to 10% by the end of 2022. People were saying I was crazy, but think of it this way: we print out 40% of our money, which means that has to be combated somehow. And usually people don't know how to, say, create money, especially the government. All they know how to do is actually just, let me clarify. They don't know how to correctly create money, right? They don't know how to stimulate the economy. All they do is just raise interest rate, hoping that it's going to combat inflation, which doesn't really solve the problem. Because there's a couple of different ways to do it, but we're not going to go into that particular piece. The biggest part is going to be more of they're just destroying the economy overall by trying to print more money. And the thing that I'm going to get killed for people seeing this, or most of the people hearing me, is that my prediction that by end of 2023, by end of next year, interest rate is going to go from 10 to 12%. And it'll just be, there's a lot of different things factoring into it. But I will say just one thing that is very easy to support it. I-9 bonds. I-9 bonds are at 9.62% return. So bonds, generally speaking, indicates what actual interest rate is going to be, because bonds are what the feds are giving to the individual people as a return. So you put money in, it stays there for 30 years. You keep it in there for the 30 years, you get that return. So think of it this way. They can't really give you money or give you an interest rate above what a normal interest rate is, long term. So if you look at CDs before, you look at bonds before, you're looking at 1 to 2%. And then the actual interest rate before was 2 to 4%. So usually 1 or 2%, within 1 or 2% above, because bank needs to make money, the government needs to make money. So if the government is giving bonds at 9.62%, what is that an indicator of? It's an indicator of that the actual true interest rate that's going to happen soon, or relatively soon, is that it's going to be above 9.62. So that in itself should scare the hell out of a lot of people. Now, historically speaking, though, this is not uncommon. I think we have over 12 years above 10% interest rate. I think it was back in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. So this isn't really that uncommon. It's just uncommon for people of our generation because we haven't experienced this yet. Now, what does this all mean? So if interest rate is going to go that high, then everything else is going to have to decrease in price. So there's going to be a huge correction. And when I say a huge correction, I'm saying at least 30 or 60% correction in the market in general. So what does that mean? A $300,000 house, there's a good chance you can get it for, say, less than $200,000, or even say around $150,000, depending on scenario.
You told me this months ago, and
yep.
I didn't really understand, but it makes a lot of sense now that I see what you're like. I see it like happening now, and I really believe you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And there's quite a few pieces to it. So if it's going to decrease by that much, is that a different filter? What kind of filter is that?
Nah, I don't know what you're talking
about. Anyways, so with all that being said, and all those different factors coming into it, it gets to be interesting. Now, there's a couple additional things that I'm gonna back the hand, man.
There's a couple additional things.
So a couple of different things. So what most people don't realize, and this is a jacked up number. This is like, what Dave Ramsey claims to be like, uh, which you may fear porn, that foreclosures went up 165%. And that's right, 165% in the second quarter of this year versus last year. So why is it 165%? And why is that inflated? Well, because last year we couldn't really foreclose on people because of COVID. So that percentage, they throw it out there to make, like, try to shock people. So that is not something you have to worry about. But what you do have to worry about is this. Basic economics. Price is determined by supply and demand. If supply is up here, demand is up here, then price is going to be cheap because you have a surplus. If you have a high demand and a low, high demand and low amount of products, then the price is going to increase a lot because there's not enough to meet it for demand. So if you think of it this way, all right, if let's just say everywhere you're at, you want to buy a bottle of water, it's $2. Yeah. If you want to buy a bottle of water in the middle of the Sahara Desert and that's the only bottle of water you see, what are you willing to? God,
$350,000.
Because you'll pay whatever you need to pay because of just there's scarcity and you need it to survive. So the second part is what is happening in the real estate market, dude. I'm gonna have to block, I'm gonna have to put a sticky note on your face or something because I can't fucking. I mean, sorry, I don't mean to curse that much. I can't focus, dude. Really. All right, so couple of things. So what's going on? What drove the real estate market to increase it the way it did? Okay, Stewie. So before, there wasn't really any products available, as in there weren't really any real estate properties available because people can't foreclose. You can't kick people out. Everybody wanted to move out of the city. So everything went up in real estate value, and it's an inflated number. And now, with everything that's going on, supply is starting to come back onto the market. There's over 90,000 properties that's in the foreclosure process right now. So that's going to come up in the next 12 to 18 months. So everything nationwide, property value is going to go down. That mustache is not bad, dude. That's not bad.
Right?
It's not bad, man.
Ravishing.
So property value is going to go down because of that. So that's one of the piece. Second, just simply with inflation rate. So if you lose about 10 to 20% of your purchasing power, your property value has to go down because of people who wants to sell it or needs to sell it to deal with the depression that is happening. And also just be wary of government in general because they will try to redefine the fact that, we're not in a quote-unquote recession, even though previously the definition of recession is 2 down quarters. But, yeah, it's not a recession right now. Really, dude. Really. That's a little bit disturbing with you licking your lips looking at me, man.
I was wondering when you said that it was 2 down quarters. I was like, they're still not calling it a recession.
Yeah. It's government, it's politics. You can't count on the left or the right. Plain and simple. You can only count on yourself. Is investing in stocks good? Yes, to a certain point, and I'm going to touch on that too because I have that as a note to touch on. You know what? I'm going to wrap it up a little bit quicker with the real estate piece, so I can talk a little bit in general as well. So, a couple of different things going against it. For the actual inflation piece, I think we can all agree 7.7% is BS. If you go to the tank, you go to purchase food, you go to do whatever, chances are it's probably closer to 20% increase, bare minimum, right? That's the first part. Second part, interest rate is going up. So historically speaking, let's just say 2 years ago, all right, 2 years ago, when interest rate was like 2.6, 2.8%, a $2,500 a month mortgage can get you a $500,000 house. I didn't do the new numbers yet, but last month when I was at 6.8%, I believe, for the interest rate, that can get you a $350,000 mortgage. The fact that it's at 7.7, but if it goes up to say 10% by the end of let's just say 8% by the end of this year and 10% by the end of the next year, how much is the $2,500 mortgage going to be able to get you? Probably $250,000, $275,000. So your property values are literally decreasing by half just simply from those couple of things, let alone the demand and supply requirements. That's also going to potentially drive the property down. Now, this is borrowed from, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett says a lot of people, for some reason, I'm paraphrasing here, are a little crazy. So if there is a sale on something that you like, that you want to buy, you run towards it. But when it comes to investment like real estate or stocks, when you see a sale as in a crash, people run away from it. So the question is, why do we do that, right? So one of the uncommon or unconventional wisdom that I tell people is, if people are running away from it, you run towards it. If people are running towards it, you run away from it. If everyone is buying, say, Tesla, at a certain point, you might want to run away. If you see everyone running away from, say, Tesla, same example, then that's probably when you want to run towards it. So I'm not a stock or crypto expert, but Sam Bankman, he was the CEO of FTX, all right? He literally lost, and you guys can Google it, Sam Bankman. He literally lost 93% of his wealth in one day. He went from a multi-billionaire to a millionaire. I mean, it's still great being a millionaire, but it just essentially disappeared. So generally speaking, I like to deal with real assets, as in something I can hold. Now, does that apply to real estate? Does it apply to stocks? So stocks and real estate, actually, what I like to tell people is it's a psychological game. It is a understanding of what people think and mass psychology. So if you think everybody's going to be running away short term, but you know they're going to be coming back long term, then when people are running away is the best time to buy. So one of the things I was telling my clients to do, I just don't purchase stocks. When COVID happened, I told them to, hey, buy up as much airline stocks and as much hotel stocks as you can, because, well, I told them more airline than hotel, because hotel is still a questionable piece because of Airbnb, although they're trying to fight it. And I think there's still going to be a need for a hotel, but there's always going to be a need for airplanes. So even though there are going to be situations where their price point is going to hit rock bottom, you're buying it on sale because chances of them going out of business is very slim. There's not a whole lot of actual, those are some very sexy lashes.
Pause.
Pause. Okay. So those are some general information overall about those different things. And the biggest part, what I want to tell you guys to do is start saving up money. Before, when interest rate is right around the same or less than inflation rate, cash is trash because you can borrow money and make money. When inflation rate is high and interest rate is high, well, especially when interest rate is high, cash is now king. So if there are properties out there that originally was 200,000 that you can get for 100,000, get it. Use the cash to do it. You might have to go with that look, dude. You might have to go with that look.
Yeah, I need a thicker mustache.
Yeah.
I ain't doing.
So, and if you don't have the actual money yourself, form a group. Now, we just did a video on this, and actually you see me, Terrell, and our partner Joe in it, talking about operating agreement. So it's what they call trust but verify. So if you're doing a partnership with, your friends or family, always have an operating agreement so no one gets screwed over. Everybody goes in knowing exactly what needs to be done. But if you guys add up the money, generally speaking, I don't know if this is going to still stay the same because of the craziness, but generally speaking, hard money, you can borrow with only 10% down, and you can get 100% of the construction cost finance. So what you can do is, let's just say your cost of entry is literally half. So I'll run through an exact example. This is one of those things you might want to rewatch. But let's just say a $200,000 house, you need 10%, that's 20 grand. That $200,000 house now is 100,000, that's only 10 grand for down payment because you only need 10%. But you can finance the construction costs and you can finance everything else, which is great. There's different pieces to it, but this is just high overview. You fix it up, you rent it out, then you get it the bank to refinance the property. When it refinances it, you're going to have to suffer in the next 3 to 5 years after the crash, because historically speaking, there is usually a very profitable market after a recession. Excuse me. Thank you. And it usually only lasts 2 to 3 years. Can it last longer? Yes. But generally speaking, it only lasts that long. Now, once that happens, though, once you get back to the good economical times and interest rates back down to like 3 to 4 or 5 or even say 6%, you can refinance the property, take equity out, as in everybody gets paid off, everybody gets a chunk of money, and you still pay less a month. So it's thinking at least 5 moves in advance. This is where you can apply knowing what is about to happen to create wealth for you and your family by just suffering, say, the next 3 to 4, maybe 5, maybe less. But once that house that you bought for 100 grand goes back to 200 grand, then you just made 100K right there, let alone all the money that you that you get from tax. So real estate is the only way you get paid 4 times. You get paid with forced appreciation by fixing the property, it increases in value. Depreciation for tax, as in tax write-offs. Loan paid down, as in somebody's paying off your mortgage. And rental income, as in whatever is above what rent is being paid and is above the actual mortgage that you have to pay. So you're making money all around, but this is also what they call infinite return. What do I mean by infinite return? Let's just say Rel and I made a deal, or doing a real estate deal. We each put in 5 grand and get it up and running. All right. 3 years later, we refinance, and since there's 200 grand worth, there's 100 grand worth of equity in there, we can take out approximately 75%, but we don't want to do anything crazy. We can get our 10 grand back, plus we each get, say, 40 grand cash, which we don't pay taxes on because it's what they call proceeds from loan. It is a loan because it is a refinance or a mortgage. So we don't pay taxes on that. It's just money in our pocket. In the meantime, our monthly would still go down because we have a great interest rate. We are still making extra money every month, and we will continuously make money every month as long as we keep the property, which is why they call it infinite return. And this is where you can literally create money out of nothing. And it's okay if IRS just enter the chat because these are all IRS code. Now, disclosure, I'm not an tax attorney, tax advisor, or tax accountant or anything along those lines. Do your own due diligence. But the tax code, you can Google it yourself. Now, what also other people don't realize is that your primary residence, as in your house, if you live there 2 out of 5 years, 2 out of 5 years, you don't have to pay any taxes up to $250,000 on individual or $500,000 as a couple. So what sometimes people do is, if they have good enough credit, they have enough saved up, they buy the worst house in the worst economical time in the best location. Now you can easily make $100K plus, and you wouldn't have to pay taxes on it.
I'm sorry, that was a great comment. IRS just left the chat.
I didn't see it. I haven't really looked at the chat as much, but I know that there was a couple of questions I missed. But I just want to make sure I want to get all this information out because I did promise a lot of value, a lot of information for everyone. I just want to make sure everybody knows about what's going on. So it's not like what they call fear porn. It's I'm freaking excited. I mean, how long have I talked to you about what's about to happen? Like,
yeah, you've been talking about this for about a year, and it looks like it's actually happening. And I'm proud of you.
Thanks,
even
brother.
though I didn't even know, because I don't even know what you're talking. I mean, I'm not knowledgeable in this. I mean, you own a lot of real estate, so you would know better than I would. But I see legit, like, everything you said was happening is like happening right before my eyes, and I can actually understand it because you explained it to me before. This is kind of the way when I became a photographer, it would be things that I would watch YouTube videos, and I would watch YouTube videos when I was learning how to be a photographer, and I wouldn't understand what they were talking about. And 6 months later, I would be able to put it together. I was like, oh, that's what that guy was saying. And I would even have more information to add to what he was saying when I saw it. But sometimes when you tell, I mean, it's good to learn things even when you don't fully understand, because it's things you can use in the future. You ever have like something that your parents taught you? There's things that your parents taught you that it doesn't stop you from making the mistake, but it does stop you from making the mistake twice. My dad taught me a lot of things that stopped me from making a mistake twice. It's just because I made the mistake and he told me not to do it. It wasn't for no reason. It didn't go to waste. You know what I mean? Because I go, oh, that's what my dad was talking about. And I feel like huh? Oh shoot! It's like you're pausing. It could be me though.
I don't know if that was me or if that was you.
I don't know.
I might have froze.
But what was you saying?
No, I was just saying, no, I 100% agree. And there's another saying that I like a lot that's somewhat related to that. And when the student is ready, the master appears.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's true though, like, and when you talk about the parents piece, like, dude, I remember like a lot of stuff like my mom used to tell me. It's like, yeah, don't waste your money, you gotta be frugal and all that. And it's not that I didn't know she was right. I thought I knew better because of some of the stuff I was listening to. And that particular mindset is correct in the sense that you cannot save your way to $1 billion. You can never outsave your bills, because no matter what you do, like if you're working for someone, let's just say your salary is $100,000 a year, you can't save more than $100,000, which I still firmly believe in this day. That saving is not, the spending is not necessarily the problem. This problem is not making enough. not selling enough. That's
Yeah.
a big part of it. But the big piece, before I end the real estate piece and go through the questions and just talk about things in general, is that, look, guys, a lot of exciting things going to be happening. It's going to be scary as well, but it's not going to be as scary now that you know what's about to happen, right? It's like if you knew Lehman's was going to collapse before, and you know there was going to be a crash with that real estate, and you know within 10 years or 5 years that real estate is going to be tripling, that should get you excited, right? How often can you get something like maybe 50% off? Let's just say not 50, let's just say even 20 or 30% off. How exciting would that be? It's going to be freaking amazing. And same thing, if it affects the real estate market, it's going to affect the stocks as well. So if you're more into stocks, do your own due diligence. Think of, all right, what is going to be something that's going to last long term that is going to get a big hit? So before we were thinking about, say, like, COVID, airplanes and plane companies. I remember, I think American Airline was down to like $6 or $8 a share. I think it's like 30 some bucks a share right now. Actually, here, I'll find out right now. And Delta was the same price too, I think. What is the price for American Airline stocks? Almost 15 bucks. What's the price for Delta stocks? 35. So these are all like double to triple what they were in less than 2 years. So what else do you guys think, hey, is going to do well long term, but is a commodity that people don't spend money while we're in a recession, but is a strong company? So maybe like Coca-Cola. Or you can go the other route. You can say, hey, you know what? What's doing horrible right now that's going to do great during a recession? So maybe like Walmart. But I'm not a stock guy. So I'm just thinking, like, for me, whenever I do the investment, I always look at group psychology. What is the psychology of the people that's going to be purchasing, their customers? What is going to happen? But
The mustache.
I said it, dude. It looks good. It looks good, man. I know I missed a lot of questions, and I'm sure you have some questions too.
I don't see any in here. No new ones. No, I don't see any new ones in the.
There's some. Let's see. Will these exciting things be happening in South Carolina too? So speculation, I think it's just going to be all over, honestly. I wouldn't say it's necessarily state specific. Now, instead of saying state specific, I can say property type. So property type and area type. It's usually divided into A, B, C, and D. A being the best, D being the worst. Example is A would be like, well, actually, most people don't realize about Jersey. Well, actually, okay. So let's just say A would be like Center City, Philadelphia. It is the prime, the creme de la creme, the super expensive. And then D is like Camden. All right. Generally speaking, it won't really affect the A property as much. It still will, though. It will definitely affect it, but it won't affect it as much as it would say B, C, D properties. D properties is not going to probably affect it as much either. It's probably going to be more B and C, which is probably where you really want to stay in line anyways.
What's B, C, and D properties?
So B, C, and D, so it categorizes different things. So A, B, all right, so I'll speak more with me and you, just because it's hard to generalize this for everyone. So for us, B and C properties are B and C areas. B and C would be like Belmar, Brooklawn, Westville. That's more like the B kind of area where it's not great, it's not horrible, but you're safe. C area is more like Gloucester City. You walk into there, you feel a little unease, but you feel fairly safe, but you probably wouldn't walk around at night by yourself for the most part, but you don't necessarily think you're going to get shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's I don't know if that really makes sense, but that's kind of the general idea of it.
I'm adding somebody. He said he has a question.
Okay, sure.
Hopefully, it's not. Oh no, it's not working. Never mind.
I'm going to keep on going
He
through.
declined.
Oh, he declined. I mean, guys, feel free to ask me about anything too. I might not necessarily have the answer, but if you have the opportunity right now, like seriously, this is free. I normally charge, anywhere from $150 to $300 an hour for my coaching, and for real estate, it's closer to 200 to 300. But you know, this whole thing is really to give back to the people, and like I said, this is more of a public service announcement, so that way people aren't going to get screwed over, and to make sure that you have the ability to take advantage of it. Oh, one last note I do want to say: do I, with everything being said, am I saying don't buy properties right now? No, that is not what I'm saying at all. At the end of the day, the math is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know why people are selling. You don't know what's going on. And everything is speculation. So another thing is, don't wait for the bottom of the market. Don't wait for the top of the market. You will lose your shirt that way. Some people will be able to think, say, hey, I know it's going to hit exactly this price. It's like, no, no. You're not going to know exactly what's going to happen. What you have to do is you have to set the criteria yourself in the very beginning. So understand what you're willing to go through, how much you want to make, what's your best case and worst case scenario. So then that way you're set. But that's just my piece. I sell my house to be Rel's neighbor. Nice.
I should make a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood parody just based off of that.
Dude, do it. Yo, you and I got to make something funny again. That's educational.
Yeah, I should.
Those,
I haven't had anything. Well, I was trying to make content when I had COVID. That COVID brain thing is a real thing because I couldn't think of anything.
uh,
Like, I was just sitting there. I didn't even want to be on the phone. Like
dude,
those 3 days, it was kind of bad. But
it's insane, man. Yo, by the way, have you watched Dope Sick yet?
uh-uh.
Dude, watch it. It's a phenomenal movie. I mean, not a movie. It's a series. It's with what's his face? He's a Who are the actors in Dope Sick?
There are 27 people in the
Michael
cast of
Keaton.
Dopesick. Here are the first three: Michael Keaton, Caitlin Dever, and Michael Stolbarg.
Well, Michael Keaton's in it, and phenomenal movie. But it goes through a lot of this stuff that is based in real life. The only character that's not 100% based in real life is the doctor, and the doctor is based on multiple people. That's why. But it goes through the whole corrupted system.
Drop my phone.
All good, brother. All good.
That was a lot of
Sounds
information.
like a lot of fun over it. Dope
Oh,
Sick is
you hear my
on
wife in
Hulu.
the background? My wife
Huh?
is in the background. They're watching a movie. They talk very loud. My wife, my mother-in-law, and my sister-in-law, and Micah. They're all watching
Uh-huh.
a movie. And I'm out here
Nice.
talking attack.
Well, Well, I appreciate it, brother. I mean, if you want, we can end it a little early too, man.
Mosquitoes out
I mean,
here.
it's not early technically, but you know, I mean, I love you, brother. I love you. I will say I'm very excited about with what's going to happen. I think with everything that's going to like happen the way I think it's going to happen, I'll probably do some more of the advanced stuff. So I'll probably set up a QRP. I'll do a little more tax liens. I'll probably use that to invest in some Tesla stocks and also other stocks. Um, I will say also when the upturn is going to happen, which is going to happen in 3 to 5 years, that's probably when I'm going to buy some gold for cheap. So again, general idea is if people are running away from it, run towards it. If people are running towards it, run away from it. So historically speaking, when economy is doing well, people don't care about gold. When the economy is doing bad, people go towards gold or other precious metal. Silver is a great commodity too, because silver is very inexpensive, but the historically, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the year-over-year rise overall is significantly higher than gold. Yeah, right. And I'm definitely going to get some Ethereum and Bitcoin as well. But I'm going to be purchasing it with money that I have to spare.
Bitcoin's been dropping crazy.
Dude, that's when you buy, man. But you buy with disposable income. You don't like with speculation. You buy with disposable income. Like, for example, all right, you know, if you're going to go out to eat like nicely twice a month, right? Nowadays, if it's 2 people, that's probably like $400. I'll spend $400 getting some sort of, you know, speculative investment. What is happening?
No, no.
What? What? I mean, your face is pretty funny, but I feel like I'm missing something for you to crack up like that.
I don't know. You hear that?
Hear what? Did you just fart it?
No, it's the animal ran by, and I don't know what it is.
Oh, you're gonna be all right. Yeah, actually, I think you would appreciate this. This is just me being stupid. So, I think it was what Monday
Sorry,
night.
I don't know what's wrong.
You're good, brother. Have you been trying to hold that in all day?
No, a lot of random things just happened just now.
What was that?
A lot of random things.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know what's going on.
huh? Are you okay? Did somebody like drop some laughing gas or something?
I don't know. You know what it is?
What?
I keep trying to talk, and then I see this filter, and I can't really take my I can't take myself seriously. The
Oh yeah,
filter
well,
popped
yeah,
off, and
I
then
just think I felt, man. The entire time you were on the filter, I was trying to say something. I was like,
yeah,
"Oh crap, man!" Nah, but it was awesome, man. It was awesome.
the filter turned normal for a second, and then
Uh,
an animal ran by because I'm outside. An animal ran by.
uh,
I don't know. I don't. Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
you're good. Oh, so 2 things I was going to tell you. I was going to tell you offline, but I'll tell you now. So one of the joke was and this isn't like a joke as in like a joke, but it was just more me being stupid. I got like food poisoning or some sort of stomach bug. I think it was like Monday night, like literally from 1 to freaking 5 a.m. I couldn't sleep, and
Sheesh.
it sounds horrible. I was going out both ends, and the thing I thought, just me being stupid, I was like, just diarrhea. Just when you thought you had nothing else to give, it just takes more out of you.
That's true.
And then, huh?
That's true.
Yeah. And then whatchamacallit, this dad joke I think you'll like. You probably seen it. So I might have shared it before, but I just thought of it for some reason. Why did the pig why was the pig wearing all black?
I know it's something dumb.
Give it a guess.
I don't know.
Because Batman promised to protect Gotham.
Wow. Oh man, that's a new low.
I think we should end on that note. I think we should probably end on that
I'm
note.
trying to add me. Oh yo, I don't know what happened to me. I'm still crying.
It's all good, man.
Let me take this filter off.
All right. I think that that filter though.
That's what I think it was. I couldn't hold it. Oh man.
That filter, man.
Oh man.
You're literally crying. You're not having a filter crying right now.
I don't know what was wrong. I had to giggle. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we're out of questions.
Yeah, I think we're good for now. So yeah, we'll start just stick with Thursday nights at around 6:30.
Yeah, that works. Maybe even 6:45 because it's hard for me to get on.
I'm good with 6:45. We can even do 7 if you want.
Yeah, but I know you had something to do, so.
Nah, that's all good. I mean, it's pool. I mean, I love shooting pool and love Joe too, but yeah, I can go there a little later. People, because you scared them. Huh?
No, somebody asked, why is the sky blue? I don't know if it's a joke.
Are they asking legit, or is that like a dad joke?
I have no idea.
Sad to say, I actually have the scientific reason for it. Well, like you said, full of random facts.
Right?
Yep.
They got him with possession. Oh, that was good.
What was that? I
No,
missed that one.
Oh, man. I don't know what the animal was, but I'm about to go in here.
All right. Yeah, before they attack you. All right. All right. So I appreciate everybody checking us out, especially those who followed us. And yes, thanks everybody.
There's so many people trying to join. Now.
What's going on?
She froze.
Ooh. What's going on?
I have no idea.
I'm so confused right now.
I don't know. I accepted one of the videos. I accepted some. Oh, she left. Okay. All right.
All right. I'll see you later, brother.
I'm gonna go bother my wife since I got the giggles.
All right.
All right.
Later.